Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another video, and today we are going to go into something that is a little bit of a controversial title, a controversial topic, but I guess that's where we're trending. The stock market's a bubble. I'm kind of bored of talking about it right now, so let's talk about this. But before we get into this, let's talk about what a lawful and unlawful order is. So, looking down here at what an unlawful order is. An illegal order involves more than just soldiers thinking that what they are being told to do is a bad idea because they disagree with the tactical wisdom of the order. The order must be palpably illegal. This means that the order is so clearly illegal that any responsible person would have known it was illegal. So where am I getting into that? Because we're probably about to get an order to do something that may or may not disagree with. Whatever. It is what it is. Sometimes you get those orders, but unless it is palpably illegal, you follow it, right? So before people out there, all you patriots out there are saying, oh, you just do whatever the military tells you. No, this is what a lawful order is, right? And I don't see this as an unlawful order. So let's go ahead and throw up the notes here, okay? So DoD, mandatory vaccines probably coming, my thoughts. Number one, I'm going to comply, all right? And before we get into it, first of all, I already got the vaccine, okay? So we'll get into a little bit of the why there in a little bit here. All right, so number two here, we're going into a little bit of just my thoughts on the whole situation. One thing that I've noticed is that it's not really politically popular on either side. Now, obviously, I might have a little bit of a sampling bias with asking polls on my story, but it seems that not a lot of people want to be in masks. You see, even the furthest left of my friends, I see them at concerts, I see them not wearing masks. We lifted the mask mandate here on base, and as soon as I went into the gym, right, I was coming back from a mission. We all had masks on. I come into the gym, and maybe one person had masks, right? You had to wear a mask if you were unvaccinated, right? And that's to protect yourself. So as far as what people want to do or what people support, it seems a little strange. Like, usually what I expect out of a politician is that they're going to do something that over half of the country supports, right, that they're voting for. But this one, it doesn't really fit the bill there. So, if you got 5 or less % of people masking voluntarily, that's kind of how I measure, whether or not people want to actually mask, right? Or whether or not people actually support that. So anyways, yeah, number 3, we already got into that. I already got the vaccine already. And the reason why I got the vaccine over here, number 4, is because I knew that eventually it would be mandated, right? So as soon as the CDC or the FDA rather decides that this is an approved vaccine, then I'm sure it'll be mandated. There's already a bunch of other vaccines that we have to take within the United States Army, and there was already an anti-vax problem where if you wanted to come in and you didn't want to take your vaccines, well, you were not allowed to be in the military. We have plenty of things that we do to screen people out of the military, and that is one of them. If you don't want to take your vaccines before you go overseas, you will not be in the military. So I knew it would be mandated anyways. That's number 1. Okay, chances of death. I got 3 things down here. Chances of death from the virus. For me, being a healthy, young, 28-year-old person who exercises, eats a proper diet, what are the chances of me dying from the virus? I said low, okay? Chances of me dying from the vaccine, okay? Very, very low, okay? Chances of me dying from the virus with the vaccine, also very low. So for me, knowing that it would eventually be mandated, knowing that it would get me off-post privileges, knowing that it would let me take off my mask, and knowing that dying from the virus with or without the vaccine, knowing all 3 of those things, I just went ahead and decided to go get the vaccine voluntarily because I don't think that any of this, this is a nothing burger to me. That is what I will call it. This is a nothing burger in my view. Okay, reasons to mandate the vaccine. So let's get into that, okay? So one thing that we do in the military is force protection, right? Or in other words, making sure that the troops are coming home, right? So if you're going out on a mission, you need to have security, right? You need to make sure that you're protecting yourself in this environment from COVID, right? Maybe we're wearing N95 masks. Maybe we're not going into crowded bars. Maybe we're, doing this or that to protect the force, right? That's what force protection is, okay? The other reason could be to stop the spread, okay? So I have questions about that, right? Because to stop the spread, wouldn't that be masking, or would that be like, what's the goal of that? Is the goal of that zero COVID? Because I don't know if zero COVID, which I've said since the very beginning of this whole thing, since March 2020, I don't think zero COVID is an attainable goal. Okay, so let's go down here. We're in the New York Times, which is definitely not a bastion of conservatism or anything like that. It says the vaccines are beautiful, they're working, they're amazing. Down here it says an immunologist of the University of Alabama down in Birmingham, but they're not going to give you local immunity. Okay, so we can pretty much go ahead and strike this off, right? It stops the spread. It's not stopping the spread. Maybe something that you could put down here is not overwhelming hospitals, right? But that's just not something that we're really hearing. That's not the narrative that we're hearing, overwhelming hospitals, and hospitals do not seem to be overwhelmed. So if we're not seeing that hospitals are being overwhelmed, if we're not seeing that it stops the spread, and we're also not hearing about the reason of force protection, I just don't understand why we're doing it, right? I don't see the why. Okay, that's that. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. Number 6, it seems weird to mandate something that doesn't achieve number 2, right? So it doesn't. I just said that. Number 7, and this is the final thing, and I'm gonna close out the video, is stop shaming people for not getting the vaccine. If herd immunity seems like something that we're not going to achieve, zero COVID seems like something that we're not going to achieve, and it doesn't seem that this is it's just another disease, right? That's what it seems like to me. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, right? And that seems to be a controversial opinion these days, that what is the goal, right? Is it not overwhelm hospitals? Is it stop the spread? Is it zero COVID? Is it protect people? We're not getting a consistent message right now. And we're also not getting data from the CDC, right? The CDC hasn't collected data on transmission for COVID-19. So we don't know exactly what effect the vaccines are having, right? A little bit further down here, it says that the Delta variant loves to be in your nose, but there's an immune response. Once the virus actually goes into your body, your immune cells go into action, but it's just not looking very clear. I'm not sure what we are doing, right? And I don't know. I'm not mad about all this stuff. It's just, it is what it is, guys. It is a weird situation. I don't see why more people don't think that this is weird, right? Like, where's the logic? But anyways, hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below what you guys think about this whole situation. And I'll see you guys in the next video.